wanted to be with them when they were involved in their activities. I've gotten to play on a national championship team. I've gotten to be a part of the Dallas Cowboys and everything we've talked about today. So much a blessing to be a part of. Nothing has ever meant as much as what you get to do with those kids. Those memories, those times right there, no matter what kind of gain you might have given up or what kind of gain you've given up, it was all worth it to have been able to be involved during those times. And what a crazy thing happens is that when you get on up and you're 50 and you're 60 and you're 70, all of a sudden when people are saying, well, I don't know why I don't get a call from my kid, I don't know why I don't do this, all of a sudden the parents and people that were giving it up so much back when they were 30 and 40, their kids can't go any place without them. They don't want to be without them. That's the order of things. Those of us who had wonderful parents, who had parents that were inordinately accomplished, that really made you proud and really showed you some direction, to have gotten that, plus had that kind of input from your parents, we're the blessed.
When I talked to her, Charlotte, she said, I've never hung up the phone with my dad where he didn't say, I love you now. And I don't mean to pile on, but there's something away from the business. You're leaning on these kids now. She said, he'll dream up some crazy idea, and it's up to us to figure out how to do it. But they do figure out how to do it.
Certainly the experience that I've had, it's not one thing fair about, in any way, any of my three children being referred to as a child or as some got something because of what we have, where we are, because truly they were young adults when I bought the Cowboys. I was 45 when I bought the team. And so they were young adults, and they've been in this thing from the get-go, and they really should and do deserve their due relative to what we've been able to get done today. And by the way, I want them to have their share of the blame for not being to a damn Super Bowl.
That's right. AT&T Stadium, which it's called now, is an incredible, incredible palace that you've built.
Well, Joe, back to the years that when we were in Houston, the college team that I played on was playing in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas, and we had practiced in Houston to stay away from our families and stay away from all of the celebrating that usually goes on around a bowl game so that you could get some sleep and then go down there and play a bowl game, which we did the first. Well, right at that time, the Astrodome was just being completed there in Houston. And it was not only well publicized, it truly was the eighth wonder of the world. Coach Brawls had gotten to show our team the stadium. When I walked in there, it looked like you were on the moon. It was unbelievable, the stadium, and there it was completely enclosed. But I thought then and there, gosh, what has football come to? Well, some 30 years later, when I was sitting dreaming of what this stadium might look for that we have today, and I thought, what would it be like to be a part of building something that you could put 6 Astrodomes in? Now, when I bought the Cowboys, it was a hard time. It was a very hard time economically for a lot of people. I vowed I had danced with the devil, boy, in my mind. I'll never dance with him again. There'll never be anything that would entice me, give me any desire to get close to those kinds of feelings I had when I thought I was going to lose it, or I thought I wasn't going to be able to pay. I'm not going back there again. Lord and behold, I go out there. We start that stadium. We started, not 1994, actually, was when it was started. And all of a sudden, we're with 3,000 people out there. We're 50 feet in the ground. And this country has, in 2007 and 2008, right about that time, it has one of the greatest economic downturn that anybody living on this planet has ever seen. And right about then was when we were digging the dirt to build this massive stadium. Now, at that particular time, we had a choice. Were we going to cut back? It was well known the Dallas Cowboys were building this stadium. Or is this a time when we need to sell and spend our way out of hard times? Is this the time when we ought to turn on the coal, pour the coal to it? Well, I want you to know, Joe, what we did was go. We poured on. I increased the scope of the stadium. We went the other way. We built many clubs in that area that are in what are normal concourses in other stadiums. But these clubs look like Las Vegas nightclubs that are in this stadium. And sure enough, our fans, sure enough, the people that really we wanted to build and build nice for, recognized that that's what we were doing, and they came in and supported them.
Which is that in almost 20 years now, the Dallas Cowboys have won 2 playoff games. 2.
Absolutely.
And I know that doesn't sit well with you. But what does, and what blows me away, is that the team that networks fight over to cover, the Dallas Cowboys, whether it's NBC or CBS or Fox or ESPN, you want the Cowboy game because that is the game that draws the ratings, the eyeballs. I think you're a big part of that. I think you're somebody that people want to see. They want to see what you have to say. I think you've been a big part of keeping that team relevant.
Well, Joe, I've always believed that for fans, different aspects of sports can carry a certain meaning or a certain degree of interest. And I want to be a part of any way that I can of every aspect of it. We are the first team in the NFL to ever have a camera in our draft room. Chaz?
Yes, sir.
This is Jerry Jones with the Dallas Cowboys. We're all high-fiving. You're a Dallas Cowboy now. We just started your call. And I'm going to tell you something. Our coach and our scouts like to have shit in the draft room when it came in there. Really did. But we got the opportunity to join the Dallas Cowboys with the high school system of the city of Frisco, Texas. And they have 50,000 high school students, and we literally are going to join them at the hip. And so that when Tony Romo is coming off the practice field, the high school quarterback for Frisco, Texas, and one of those 14 high schools will be walking on the field, either practicing or getting ready to play a game. We're mixing it up, and we're basically showing how pro sports, and certainly as it evolves through collegiate, has a mix-in with high school and where that all fits in together as far as the people that are guiding them, which are the mom and pops and grandmas and grandpas that are out there supporting them. We've got an opportunity to do that. And so consequently, we've joined with Frisco, and we have built an indoor training center that will seat 12,000 people for high school football games. It's air-conditioned.
About trying to grow this game, because obviously this is something that's at the forefront of what's going on in the NFL, the long-term effect of head trauma, and the worry that parents aren't going to sign their kids up for football anymore because they're not being taught properly, whatever. You have a way now of teaching properly, of being involved at the grassroots, the ground level, to really help that as these young players grow.
We adamantly support young athletes playing football.
Would you rather have a higher IQ or a photographic memory?
Oh, I think that memory. I'd rather remember everything. I might have wanted to be smarter when I was 21. I'd like to remember more today, all right?
Rather be invisible or be able to read people's minds?
Oh, I think I know what you're thinking. I'd like to see where you go tonight. I'll be by your side.
Okay, good. Be ended on a deserted island alone or with someone you hate?
Oh, I'd rather be with someone, much rather be with someone I hate.
You can make it work somehow.
That alone stuff, I couldn't stand that. We got to have someone else's fault, for sure.
You need somebody to blame when the fire goes out. Okay.
Surely
good.
I couldn't have done this.
Right. What's the last meal you cooked?
Let's see. I warmed up some.
Wait.
Warmed up. Well, it counts as a meal.
Okay.
It counts as a meal.
Right.
All right.
You warmed up what?
I warmed up some clam soup this morning up at.
God, that sounds
up
awful.
at Oxnard. Clam chowder at Oxnard.
For breakfast.
For breakfast, and put a little bunch of Tabasco in it. It helps hips get well.
Okay, good. Would you listen to this? All right, this is going to take a minute. Would you rather horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Hey,
Let me repeat that. One horse-sized duck, I mean, it's a big friggin' duck, or 100 duck-sized horses.
more of an IQ and less of a memory, so I could answer that question right there.
Wouldn't you rather take on the big duck instead of 100 little things coming at you?
Is that really down there?
Yeah, what do you think